always, it's Friday Fan Day, so you know what that means. We're going to have some of the best supporters of the Burgundy and Gold joining us today. As we always do on these shows, we're going to mix it up. We're going to talk about the Commanders, talk about what's happening with them as far as the latest news, and obviously the schedule was announced a couple days ago, and it's pretty exciting, folks, to say the least. So we're going to talk about that. And then, of course, I give them my hypothetical brain buster of the day, and I'll ask them a question that normally divides the group up pretty much. But I think today's question is going to be even more tough for them. So I think that they're probably going to be more divided than ever. So we'll find out when we come back. But if you want to subscribe to this show, it's very easy to do so. You can first watch it on YouTube, and I'm sure that's where a lot of you are checking it out now. So on YouTube, it's The Lake Lewis Jr. Show. So once again, The Lake Lewis Jr. Show. The channel for it is The Lake Lewis Jr. So very simple to find me on there. And then, of course, if you want to subscribe to it via the podcast carriers, it's on most major podcast carriers such as Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, just to name a few. But it's out there. All you have to do is search the name, The Lake Lewis Jr. Show. And then you can actually listen to the show on terrestrial radio. If you live in the DC market, you can hear the show on WOL, and it's 95.9 FM, and then also on WOL's 1450 AM, and that's a Radio 1 station. So lots of ways that you can check out the show, and appreciate all the love and support I've been getting over the last couple of weeks. Everyone's excited about the direction the show's going in, and it's going to be continued throughout the year, throughout the season coming up as well. So look, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have Friday Fan Day for you right here on the Lake Lewis Jr. Show. So hang tight. Welcome back, everyone, to the Lake Lewis Jr. Show. Appreciate you joining us as always. It's Friday, so it needs no introduction. If you are a big fan of the Washington Commanders, the Burgundy and Gold, this is the place to be on Fridays, because on Friday Fan Day, we bring in some of the biggest supporters of this team, and it's happy times right now. We talk about everything under the sun, and we're going to start this one off this week with talking about the schedule that just came out, and we want to get your take on how excited you are. Well, listen, if you're not part of the group, you can always join the group, and all you have to do is let me know if you want to come on, and we'll shoot you over an email. I need your email to do so, and you can email me at Lake Lewis Jr., the Lake Lewis Jr. Show at gmail.com. So once again, it's the Lake Lewis Jr. Show at gmail.com. You can subscribe to the show on all the major podcast carriers, as well as watch this on YouTube. And you can listen to the show if you're in the DC area, DC, Baltimore area to be exact. If you want to listen to the show, you can do so on Tuesdays at 11 o'clock for 1 hour, where we break down the Burgundy and Gold. So how's everybody doing today?
Awesome, man.
Okay.
Doing great.
Good.
Appreciate you guys joining as always. And then, of course, we've got some new folks in here. Not new to me as far as personally, but just new as far as showing up on the set. We've got my man Lewis up there. He's joining us. Lou, your mic's muted, so you got to unmute it. So there we go. What's going on with you, man?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
Just glad to be amongst family, amongst friends. Excited to be here.
Absolutely. Alfonso today. What's up, Alfonso?
What's going on, Lake? It's been a minute, but we back. How y'all doing?
Appreciate that. Got some longtime supporters back in the group again. And what's up, Josh? Haven't seen you in a while either.
And I've been gigging.
That's what's up.
It's the season.
Making that music. I hear you. That's what's up. All right. Well, look, let's get right into it. This team is like the hot toy for the NFL right now. They're everywhere. Every time you turn on your television, every time you look up, folks like myself are talking about this team, all for a good reason. When you get this many primetime games and national appearances, that's telling you that it's not just you Burgundy and Gold fans that are singing the praises of this team, but the league itself now is singing the praises. So as we do, we're going to go around the horn. Everybody has like 30 seconds to answer this question. But my initial take is I want to get your thoughts on the schedule and how excited are you for the Burgundy and Gold's 25 season? All right, so let's start with Lewis. You're our new guest today. So, how excited are you for this team?
Listen, I'm very excited. I'm very excited. I think we've turned a corner in terms of having a lot of primetime games. We got a Thursday night, we got 2 Monday nights, got a Sunday night, got a Christmas Day. Dallas coming in town, going to Madrid. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is a feeling that we haven't had in a very long time with new ownership, new coach, new quarterback. So I'm very excited about the season, and I'm looking forward to getting up at 9:30 to watch the Spain game, maybe having brunch or something like that. But it's going to be wild. It's going to be wild. I think we have become the darlings of the NFL. So I'll stop with that.
All right, good stuff. Good stuff. And folks, he kept it in 30 seconds. Wow. First time the show kept it within 30 seconds. All right. So Brad, you're up. What's going on, my man?
What's up, family? Lewis, what's happening, brother? Welcome. I'm excited, man. Like I said, I bought some road game tickets. So I want to represent my squad on the road. I'm going to Green Bay. I'm trying to get that Oakland game. So I'm super excited. I'm excited every year, but this time I'm going to other states and represent my squad. So I'm happy, man. I'm excited.
That's what's up. All right. Jesse's joining us. What's going on, Jess?
Oh man, glad to be here. I'm fired up about the season. I'm especially fired up to going to Madrid. I've never been out of country before, and my UK boys have twisted my arm, and I'm going to make that trip.
Nice.
And that, I mean, it's like I was a kid in the candy store, just knowing that we were going to be able to play out there. The only thing I didn't really like about the schedule is week 16, 17, and 18. It's kind of, I don't know, playing Philly, twice in 3 weeks at the end of the season kind of is a downer, but, you can't have them all.
All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Brandon out in LA. What's going on?
What's up, guys? Good to see you. Yeah, excited. It's nice that we become the darlings of the NFL. And we become must-see TV. I think it all started with that Cincinnati game last year, and then it's just propelled us. And I'm also kind of, Jesse, what you were saying, that end of the schedule. I understand they like to make those individual games last of the year, but it just, God, playing the Eagles and Dallas and Eagles. But hey, you know what? We're going to take it to the Eagles. We got to take it to the Eagles because I can't stand that team. So, but I'm happy. I'm happy we got a Christmas game. Christmas game's going to be good.
All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. Miss Sheila, what's going on?
Hey.
Hey, Sheila.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to try to go to Spain. Remember I said that I got somebody that has to tell me he usually do the trips. So I'm waiting to hear from him about the trip and what the prices are and whatnot. So I want to go there.
Yeah. I'm not, I don't want to say it like that to you guys, but I'm media, so I don't have to worry about that payment. But from people that I spoke to, I've been told that you can get like round trip tickets right now for like $500.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
For how much?
That's good.
$530. Might want that quickly.
Really?
I told what Joe
Yeah.
Thass was offering. That was a little hot.
Yeah. I can't divulge much more, but I don't worry about that. But at the end of the day, yes, I was told that that's the case. But that might be flying out of Dulles or something like that.
Yeah.
So a lot of you guys are in different places, so obviously the prices might be different. All right, so DJ, you're up. What's going on, my brother?
What's going on, man? Super excited. We put out an article on sportsjourney.com right before the schedule hit, and I called it. I figured this would be, the NFL knows what they're doing, and they are the darling from laughing stock to primetime magnet, and it's going to be an exciting year. The schedule sets up great too, so I'm excited to cover this team in a winning fashion for another year.
All right, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, we got my man Alfonso up there. What's going on, Alfonso? How you doing?
What's going on, Lake? It's good to be back with you guys again. Sorry I couldn't make it the last couple of weeks. Been promoting my wife's book.
No, that's priority. I'm not trying to get in trouble. Don't make.
Yeah, but for the team, man, yeah, it brings a level of excitement, man, that we haven't seen in a while. I know down here in Charleston, there's a lot of fans, a lot of Cowboys fans in this area. And from the people who I've communicated with that are Cowboy fans, they are starting to notice now that we are getting the recognition and getting that spotlight shined on us now. So, and it happened real quick. So within the last, within 2 years, we're beginning to see shift in attitude and actually the excitement that's coming around the team. Greatly appreciated and really excited for what we're about to do.
Good stuff. I mean, it's just great to hear all this positive love. What everyone's just excited, rightfully so. All right, we've got John joining us over from the UK. It's late over there, but he's hanging in there with us. What's going on, John?
It's great to chat with you guys. You know, you don't see many Washington supporters here in Hertfordshire. Primetime games, when they're great, but for you guys, when it's a night game, they finish at 5 a.m. So I am very tired the next day, but it's just great. I mean, that Cincinnati game, I never went to bed. I just couldn't get to sleep after that.
Yeah.
I was just checking Twitter, and it was electric. But yeah, super. And do you know what? They got the end right, because I think those Philadelphia games are going to be for the number 1 seed.
Yeah. Very good point. I'll give you guys my take on that after everyone has a shot, because we do want to talk about that as well. So we've got, I always call him the young guy, not out of disrespect, but just out of love. The little guy, the little fella in the group, Jay. What's going on, man? How you doing?
What's up, Blake? How y'all doing? But I'm excited about the schedule. The only thing that I'm a little upset about is I wanted the Eagles Christmas Day just for because that's the championship, But thinking about history, we haven't had a division repeat winner since '04. And I really think those Cowboys games are going to be more important than what we really think.
I do too.
So,
Me too.
then I really think that it's really going to be mainly between us and the Cowboys this year, mainly. But I'm excited. I'm not happy about the ticket prices, but it is what it is whenever you're winning,
Yeah. I mean, when you become a shiny new toy, somebody got to foot the bill. So that's just how it goes.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got Josh joining us again. What's up, Josh?
What's up, everybody? Good to be back. I'm happy. I'm completely happy with the schedule. We knew that Philly was going to be at the end of the year both times. You knew the NFL was going to pull that one out. It's just too good. I'm looking forward to the Bears game with our man from Detroit coaching them up. I'm loving it. I think it's gonna be great. I've already we're getting our Vikings tickets next week for December 7th. That's my birthday, the day before my birthday. So we'll be up here having a good time representing. And I got some friends, LA musicians flying out to for the game because they're Vikings head to head there. So I'm totally psyched. I think we're gonna start.
Yeah, looks nice.
So I think we're gonna start 7-1, 6-2 on this schedule. I'm totally pumped. I think we're going to do a repeat of the division win this year.
Okay. All right. So we're going to get into that a little bit later on as well. All right. So let's get got Mike Barrett on. What's going on, Mike?
What's happening, brother? How are you, man?
Hanging in there as always.
It feels like I was here a few days ago. It doesn't feel like a whole week.
Well, that's the love, man. That means you guys are excited to show up on Fridays.
Yeah, I'm seeing your face all over the place, brother.
I'm trying, and I got this. It's work.
Yeah. I mean, I'm super. I haven't been this excited since coming off RG3's rookie year. And the NFL, if I remember correct, I don't know if we got the first game of the year or Sunday night or something with the Eagles. And I think they blew us out. But
Yeah.
the NFL was expecting something after that RG3 rookie season. And man, I'm loving it. I think the schedule's tough. But I just want to make the playoffs, man, to be honest. I just want to get in.
Okay.
I would love a home playoff game, but I just want to get in.
That's the key. Then and anything.
Positive.
Yeah.
Number 5.
Hi, Sheila.
So we have so we got Rel on. What's Kel? I'm sorry, Commander Kel. What's going on, Kel? I see you. There you go. You just gotta unmute your thing. There you go.
Yes, sir. I got these headphones in. Hopefully, you guys can hear me.
Oh yeah, we're good. Sounds great.
Excellent. I appreciate it. I mean, it's always love coming in here with Lake Lewis in the game. So the schedule, I think, is a stamp of approval that we hear. I think the owners sat around in the table with some media people there and say, hey, what's going to make us the most money? Who's the face for the future of the year, right? It's that guy, JD5. Not only that, we got all this money going in with a new stadium development, so many storylines. It's like, man, let's put our time and effort and give more primetime games and the Super Bowl champions to hear the Commanders. Man, I mean, we here. Our schedule will affect us, traveling, facing tough teams. It's going to affect the team, the staff as well, the coaches, even media traveling so much. But hey, man, this is our future. This is now. We here. After 1 year, we here.
Yeah. Love it. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. All right, we got Tony. Tony suited up today. What's going on, Tony? You look
What's up,
sharp.
man? Thank you, man. Yeah, my lady has a charity event. I'm gonna have to leave a little bit early probably, but it's good to see y'all, man.
I appreciate
about the schedule, right? Yeah, I'm a new season ticket holder this year, right? So I'm like way more to the moon, over the moon excited than I probably should be. You know what I mean? All them nighttime games, all that, Christmas Day, all that. I love it. But what most excites me about it is I like how they backloaded the schedule with those 3 division games at the end, man. That's like creates a perfect opportunity for may the best man win at crunch time and let's get it type of atmosphere. I like it.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. And then we have Willis joining us. What's going on, Willis, out in Arizona?
Yeah, sorry about that. Traffic got the better of me today.
No worries. No apologies needed.
Loving the schedule. There is like one bit of concern for me is the fact that and actually Kevin Sheehan was just talking about this, about how we have the 3rd worst schedule as far as net rest days. So meaning all these teams are going to come in and with a lot more oomph than we may have. And so, I mean, we're going to have to be strong through the very end of it. And like Tony was saying, I mean, the very end of that the schedule is just going to be brutal. I mean, it's basically who's going to be the healthiest and strongest at the end of the season, and may the best team win at that point, but I think we got an exciting lineup this year. I mean, it's just, I've never seen anything like this. I can't wait, and for me being out here in Arizona, the Christmas Day schedule for me is perfect because it fits right between stocking time and dinner time, so I'm like, I got no complaints. That's like, come on, if we come away with a Dallas victory, that's going to be the best Christmas I've ever had for a long time.
All right. Good stuff. And then we have to see, is Rev still with us? I know he was driving.
No, he left. He had to leave.
All right, so cool. So let me give you my take on this real quick. So contrary to you guys, I love you. We family now, and everybody's excited about Christmas Day game. I'm not. Because I'll be working that day. The beauty of that is my better half will be working in the stadium as well as the in-game host. So
that's good.
It'll be okay. But yeah, I mean, when I saw the schedule, I actually had the schedule. DJ about this. I had the schedule hours before it was released, and I could not. I literally kept saying to myself, "Is this real?" The person that sent it to me works for yeah. So anyway, schedule. I literally said to myself, "This is like not normal. Like this team is getting primetime games and travel games overseas and Christmas Day games." And I'm thinking, are we talking about the same franchise? So this clearly goes to show you, and I think what Kel said makes perfect sense. the league is going to promote the heck out of this team right now because they understand what's coming in 2 years to DC, the draft. They understand what's coming in 5 years, a new stadium. They want to make sure that money and pub and everything is going in the right direction. So there's no one that can say they didn't get their money's worth. So everybody's excited. The other thing that I do want to throw out as far as that Eagles, those 2 games in the final 3 weeks, you do understand that that's eerily similar to Detroit and Minnesota last year, where they played the final game of the year for the #1 seed. And I do believe that game in the league's mind could have that kind of effect. It could be there. Although I'm going to say it, someone else said this earlier, I don't think you bury Dallas just yet.
Me either.
No.
That's
Me
it.
either.
No.
That's
Me
what I
either.
said.
I'm
Me either.
historical standpoint, the
Mm-hmm.
Eagles aren't supposed to win the division this year because the history.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a different team. So in my mind, we know it's not the Giants. No offense. I think they'll be a better team, but they're not, battling for a playoff spot, not with the league's toughest schedule. But I do think that Dallas and Washington will be battling for the division. I think Washington's the better team. I think that they're going to win the division. And we'll talk about that later on. But real quick, before we move into our next topic to talk about, I got a brain buster for you guys. All right. And you got to put your thinking caps on. This one, we had so much fun with the 2 Super Bowls or the 6 playoff appearances. So I tried to come up with something a little bit more catchy here. So this is a tough one. So the question is, would you trade 3 future first round picks for a guaranteed Super Bowl win in the next 2 years, but afterward face 5 years without a playoff appearance?
No.
That's easy. That's easy.
No.
Yeah.
Did you say appearances or wins?
All right. So
Again, say that again. You be tricking us.
Appearance or wins?
Would you trade 3 future first round picks for a guaranteed Super Bowl win in the next 2 years, but afterwards, for the next 5 years, you don't go to the playoffs?
You talking about 1 Super Bowl?
1 Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Do we know how hard it is to win a Super Bowl? I'm
That's a
taking
tough
that.
question.
I'm taking that Super Bowl. Hell yeah.
I
That's a
took
tough
my
question.
2, but I don't know about no 1.
Okay. All right. Well, look. Before I'm gonna let y'all let that stick in for a while. Y'all think about that before we get your answers. But the next question is for the show, and it's not a hypothetical. It's a real deal thing here. Based off the schedule, we're gonna go back the opposite direction and find out from each one of you how many wins do you think they get from this schedule. Okay. So we'll start in other order. We'll start with Willis first. What do you think?
I don't know. I've gone up and down the schedule, and it could go one way or the other. But I'm going to be the optimist here. I see a 13+ win season this year.
Wow.
I really do.
Wow.
Who said that?
Wow. Hey, listen,
I'll take it.
past,
last year.
yeah, in years past, I probably would have got on my other phone and called help for you, but mental health. But listen, I like this because I'm not gonna tell you mine just yet, but I don't think you can go opposite direction. Like if there's anyone in this group that thinks they're going to have a losing season, you probably should get off right now. I think everyone feels like this team's on the way up. But I am curious to see some of your other answers because I think a lot of people like myself feel like they're going to be a better team on the field. They're going to be a better coach team. They're going to be, just everything's going to be better about them. But I don't know if the number of wins will be better. So we'll talk about that. But yeah, so let's go on. So Willis says 13. Yes.
And let me add to that. I think the quality of the wins are going to be better this year as well. I don't think we're going to have super close games the way we did last year. I think we're going to close these out a lot more decisively than we did last year, which is why I feel more comfortable with the 13 wins because I don't think we're going to be doing nearly the nail biters we were last year.
and things like that. Okay. All right. That's fair. All right. Tony, you're up.
Yeah, man. I remember ever since I was a little kid getting the schedule before the season start and trying to pick how many wins we'd have, and that shit's impossible. Like the teams are never end up being the good ones. Some of them ain't good, and the bad ones, some of them are good. And to me, I'm using last year as a measuring stick. I'm gonna say 11 wins would be a perfect spot. You know
Okay.
what I mean? But predicting at this early is really hard, you know.
And no, that's fair. And 11 wins with a much tougher schedule than last year. More expectations placed on you. You're not sneaking up on anyone now. So that's not a bad number at all either. All right. So we've got Kel up next. What you got, Kel? I
You
mean,
hit it right on the. It's all good, Commander Kel, whatever you want to call me, ball head guy, whatever you want to call me. Hey man, I'm loving the schedule. Yes, harder schedule. Um, um, More harder talent around division as well, but I still got us going like between 12 and 14 wins. Uh, Definitely the towards the end where most of our divisional games, that's must see TV. That's part of where the most of the ratings is going to be at towards playoff time. I think we're going to split with Dallas, and we're going to split with the Eagles. I think we're going to punish Giants the whole season. I think we're going to lose to the Chargers, but not to go into detail, but I think we're going to win between 12 to 14.
Okay. All right. So, as you said, between 12 and 14, I'm gonna give you a number 13. All right. So that's good stuff. All right, Mike Barrett, what you got?
Oh man, 11.
11.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
11. I mean, it's murder row on these quarterbacks we got to face, and 11. I think it's 11.
Okay. Look, these are good numbers. You know, now if somebody comes in here and says 7, then you're gonna see like a big X on your picture. So no, 11 is fine.
Or you want my spades? I give you 10 and a possible.
There you go.
You know, I did that last year. And you know, before we move on, someone asked me, how did you come up with 11 wins for this team last year? And I said, well, for one, I know when I was at rookie mini camp and I saw number 5, I was like, I've never seen no rookie in this team like this. That gave me hope right there. And then I was like, let me see how he blends in when the veterans come. And then before we could even speak about it with, you know, at the time, John Allen, and then Bobby Wagner, they were like, beat us to the punch with questions. They were like, that guy over there is in the building before we even get in here. Like, that's a rookie you're talking about. So I knew something good was off that. So what I did was I said, listen, the best years they had with Ron Rivera, they were winning 8 games. You know, I think they won the division once with 7 wins, but they were normally like an 8-win football team. We don't do that last season. Okay. But most of the time they were averaging around 8 wins. So I told myself with better coaching and a quarterback, that's good for 3 wins in itself.
Yeah.
So I said, and if things go well and you get the bounce of the ball on occasion and you could still win game. That was the Bears game. So that's literally 12 wins. I was at 11. So I was off 1. But my mind kept saying they could win 12 games, but I gave them 11. So I think your numbers so far are right in the ballpark of where I think everyone should be. And I'll tell you what the over-under is for them after we finish this as well. All right, so Josh, you're up. What do you have?
I'm saying between 11 and 13, so give me a 12.
Okay.
Because I'm also saying we split with Dallas and Philly. We will destroy the Giants. But we've got revenge teams like
Bears.
Bears, big time.
Right? And then you've got Atlanta, right? And then you've got Detroit with, I'm not Detroit, sorry, Denver with Bo Nix out there. You know what I mean, right? And
we got Detroit.
Yeah. KC, I think we got Detroit too, Sheila. I'm with you on that. But we have revenge games. So somewhere between 11 and 13. I don't think we go down. So give me a solid 12.
Okay. Not bad. Not bad. All right. We got Jay. You're up.
I think that we can, like everybody said, or Willis said, can at least be a 13-win team because I'm looking back at last year's schedule. We should have beat Pittsburgh at home, and we should have beat Dallas at home, and that would have been what 14 wins because
14 games.
we won 12 last year. So I'm willing to say at least we should have won 13 last year, and that's still a wild card team. So it's going to be tough this year. It's going to be tough. So and I think we really got a chance to get off to a quick start.
Okay.
I hope we get that quick start. So I think 13 wins is really doable for us this year.
All right, good stuff, man. So I think the average right now, with all the numbers being thrown out, is 12. The average is 12 so far. Okay. All right. So we have John. You're up. What do you have, John?
Yeah, well, funny enough, 12's my number. The way I look at it is that oh, come on, well, I mean, we've got to play some really good teams, but I think there's a good chance we can get off to a good start. And I think if you can build momentum, I can see a 12 again. That's what I'm thinking. But I think we can get off to a good start. I don't know what's going to happen at the end. Injuries play such a big part in anyone's season. But yeah,
important. Absolutely. Very good point. So we got another 12 in the books. Okay. Some of y'all probably hedging your numbers now. Some of y'all probably had a 7 or 8 knowing you were going to get X'd out. So Alfonso, you're up next.
Yeah, kind of with everybody else. I said that we was going to repeat what we did last year with a 12-5 record. It's a brutal schedule. I don't know who has the toughest schedule, but this is pretty.
The Giants have the toughest schedule.
The Giants has the toughest?
Yeah.
Wow.
Happened. No idea.
Okay.
Because they traded in the league.
In the league.
Wow.
Yeah.
Trading Saquon away.
Tough schedule as well, too. So nothing to cry about on that one, as they should have a tough schedule being the Super Bowl champions. So it's just so many things that the Cowboys have a tougher schedule, too. So those 3 teams in the division have a tougher schedule than Washington. It's just the way it fell. So things are aligning itself for this team to be in that 12-win ballpark for sure. Again. All right. So Alfonso says 12. All right, DJ, what do you have?
12-5.
Okay. All right. So that was quick. 12-5. Got you. Sheila, are you there?
Oh, yeah. I didn't know you said that.
Yeah.
Going out on faith. We gonna win 14 games.
Woo! Nice.
I'm stepping out on faith. Okay. I think Jaden gonna lose his mind this year.
If they win 14 games, they have to win the Super Bowl. They have to.
No question.
That would be a Detroit type letdown.
No, but I think all of it will be a letdown if we get that far, even with the 12. I would have been let down this year.
A little better. Had 11 and didn't get there, but if they have 14, you're supposed to win it.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's not bad. All right. So Brandon, you're up.
My mind says 12-5. My heart says 14, like Sheila, but I'm going to go with 12-5 because I just keep looking over the schedule.
We gotta have faith.
No, I mean, look, the Bears. I have no idea what the Bears are going to do, but they're going to be looking. Caleb's. I don't know. I have no ideas. And then the Spain game could tire them down. I mean, I know they got a bye week after that, but it's just. I do know this. I will say this: when we play the Eagles. If I'm Dan Quinn, I'd be like, throw a 50 bucket on there, man. Throw a 50 bucket for revenge because I want to see that so bad.
He's mentioned the Eagles multiple times. They are.
KD5 doesn't forget, man.
All right.
So 12-5. 12-5.
Number again, Brandon?
12-5.
So okay. Right. Okay. So Jesse, you're up.
Yeah, look, we're favored in the preseason favors in I think 12 games this year. I think 11 is our floor. But I'm going to go 13 games, man. I'm so optimistic about this team. We got some big time quarterbacks that we're playing, and I'm still a little bit concerned about our defense. I think Jaden's going to have to put up, an average of 32 points a game to win some of these.
Trey Hendrickson.
But he can do it. Oh, I'd love it. Oh my goodness, I'll give my right arm for him.
All right. So Jesse says 13, and then the guy that I look at is one of the most rational guys in the group, Brad, up in Detroit. What do you have, Brad?
Come on, Brad.
Well, first I want to say, with all the love we getting around the NFL and everybody loving us now, if you wasn't with us with Jim Zorn and North Turner and Rivera, don't be with us now. I wanna say that. Don't ride with us now.
Right.
Gus
So
Rod.
that schedule we got is heavy. If it's not a good defense, we're playing a good offense. We're playing a bit of both. So I realistically, I'll say about 11 wins. I want to say about that 11 plateau, because I don't think the Giants are going to be easy either.
No.
First, if it's a division game,
They'll
they
be
got a running
feisty.
back who's run between the tackles. Bull, neighbors gonna kill us. That's he a beast. I think he's gonna be a commander soon anyway, but that's another show. I say 11 wins.
And Wilson isn't horrible either. A lot of people are down on Russell Wilson. I think he's good.
Yeah. This is
He's
good.
corny.
He is corny.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, he is.
Yes.
Let's get Lewis's take on this real quick, and then we move on to our next question.
Having to pull up the rear and heard everybody's comment, my heart is telling me 11, but my mind is telling me 11. My heart saying 15 wins.
There you go. That's
and I'm saying that because of a variety of factors.
That's faith.
Looking at free agency, what we've done with Tunsil.
Come on now.
What we've done in the draft, and bringing in the acquisition of Deebo Samuel. And y'all are sleeping on Lane from Virginia Tech and Brooks, wide receiver as well. I think this is going to be the greatest show on turf since Kurt Warner and the Rams. This is going to be the greatest show on turf. Having seen primetime games against Detroit in the NFC Championship game and what we did to Tampa Bay in Tampa, guys with continuity and sustainability, with Quinn coming back, with Cliff Kingsbury coming back, with your offensive line coming back, sans Cosme. I think we have the ability, and young man spoke to it. We should have beaten Pittsburgh, and you should have beaten Dallas. That's 14 last year, folks.
Yeah, big time.
And I think, and I think with a renewed level of confidence, sustainability, coaching staff, the guys know the playbook. I think we can win 15 games. It's not out of the realm of possibility that it can happen. I'm going to leave it there. I know I got a time limit. I say the floor is 11, but I think we can go 15.
I'm going to get you 15 down.
Just stick with your 15, man.
Let's go 15. Let's go 15.
The optimism in this fan base, man, it gives me the chills. I love it, right? For so many years, we've been down in the dumps, and everybody is all on board, and it's freaking amazing.
That's exactly I was on ABC earlier today, and they put me on the spot, of course, as their insider, and asked me what was my number. And I said, as of today, my number was 11. Not because I don't think that they can win more, because I do.
Yeah.
But I just mean before any practices, before anything meshes, and I haven't had a chance to see. I've seen the rookies, of course, but I haven't had to see all the new additions together. And then I'll get a better assessment. But I'm almost positive once I see it together, my number probably will go up to 13. That's probably the number that I'm going to look at. But because you just don't know if injuries, you got to make it through training camp, and you got to know something always happens in training camp with these teams.
Yeah.
Didn't happen last year, so you hold your fingers and crush it again, and it doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
That team really made it through unscathed last year. I mean, even when Jaden got the rib injury, he still played, believe it or not. He wasn't supposed to play. He still was gutting it out. So you just hope this year that they don't have a major injury that could change things. So we got through the first two in good time. So now we've got about almost 10 to 15 minutes left, so we can go over my hypothetical question. A lot of y'all, again, once I said it, you were shaking your head like, oh, that's too easy. That's too easy. But you got to think about this one, because some of you already sold your soul for 2 Super Bowls as opposed to them 6 playoff appearances. So once again, the question is, would you trade 3 future first round picks for a guaranteed Super Bowl win within the next 2 years? But after you face 5 years without a playoff appearance.
That's the hard part.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. That's the hard part.
So you got 5 years of being terrible, which everybody in this room is familiar with. You have 3 first round draft picks that you could be auctioning off, which everybody in this room is familiar with. Didn't do diddly. So what's it gonna be? Do you say, nah, you good right now with what you have? Or do you make the trade, for the Super Bowls? So let's
You said 1 Super Bowl.
back with the order finish, and we'll start with Lewis on this one.
Okay. So the caveat to that was 1 Super Bowl.
1.
3 picks and be in the dumpster again for 5 years. Is that accurate?
You won't be in the dumpster.
No, I'm not taking that deal at all. I'm looking at building a Tom Brady legendary dynasty here. I think Dan Quinn can do that. And so I'm not going to trade 3 picks and 5 years in the dumpster again for 1 Super Bowl. I think we can win multiple Super Bowls. And I think with the draft, with the new stadium, that's going to be a setup. It's going to be a setup.
So listen, I'm going to do something here. I've never done this ever with you guys. I'm going to add one little caveat.
No, of course.
Because it does.
Okay.
2 Super Bowls.
Ooh.
2 back to back.
Right, we're gonna get that anyway.
Part of the
Are they
2
back to
Super
backs?
Bowl crew, so we might as well throw it back out there. 2 Super Bowls.
Are they back to backs?
It's over 7 years.
First round picks for a guaranteed 2 Super Bowls over the next 2 years, so they back to back. But afterward,
I'm taking it.
That changed the whole dynamic.
That changed the whole dichotomy. That changed the whole dichotomy of the deal right there.
Bring us home,
I'm taking it.
Are you doing
I'm
that?
taking it. I'm taking the deal.
All right. So Brad, you gotta bring us home.
Deal.
Are you taking that deal?
I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I want sustained excellence, and we suffered bad for too long, and I don't want to mortgage our future. And I'm not giving up 3 draft picks for nobody ever again. So I say no.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's what I see. That's like I said. Brad is gonna have to be known as Mr. Reason. Always on the same page. Jesse, you're up. What do you say?
I'll take the 1 because there is no guarantee for anything. And I mean, there's no guarantee that we're going to make the Super Bowl within the next 5 years. So you take that Super Bowl. I mean, every one of us would be in DC taking that down there and doing the parade and be loving it. Yeah, and obviously too. I'd take the 1. I want another Super Bowl in my lifetime. You just don't know when that will happen again. Anything could happen. Anything could happen.
Yeah.
All right. So we got another. All right. So there we go. Brandon, you're up.
I'm not taking that deal. I don't want to see 5 years and not going to the playoffs, and I don't want to see 3 draft picks, because I'm going to say this. I'll say it on your show. Before that stadium's built, we're going to have 2 Super Bowls. I just know it's going to happen. That's straight up.
You know what?
That's straight up. That's straight up. Know it's going to happen.
Right there. That's what I'm talking about. See, listen,
it's going to happen.
All these goodies to get.
I've seen them go to 4 Super Bowls, man. They're going to do it. In my lifetime.
All right.
So
I'm really curious now.
Oh no, man.
Sheila, you're up.
I've seen him go to 5. I know they lost with George Allen, and then we lost the one with Joe Gibbs. So I'm going with no. I'm not going with that 2 Super Bowl crap. Okay,
I want more.
I want more. There you go.
A converter. We got a converter.
Oh wow!
We got a converter because she was one singing the I'm taking Super Bowls and I don't care if we stink for 8 more years. I got 2. So now you see, it's starting to sink in. All right, here we go. All right, DJ, you're up.
Come on, DJ.
Yeah, I'm not doing that, man. We've been covering like awful teams for a long time. Sustainability is everything, and I think a lot of people said we saw what we did when we traded away a whole bunch of first rounders. It did not last. So yeah, I'll take the sustainability because I know that the team will get there. I can't do them three first rounders. Absolutely not.
All right, that's good stuff here, man. All right, Alfonso, you're up.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that. So I'm not. I'm for the sustainability. I'm looking at what Adam Peters is doing right now, and I know he came from teams where he has won Super Bowls. So I trust that he's building something here. So I have to get on board with that and go with the longevity of sustainability.
All right. And then so we have John, you're up.
Right. Okay. So here's my take. I'm declining the 1, and I'm accepting the 2.
Okay.
Everyone's excited now. You can feel it. Everyone around this table, and the bit that it really doesn't. Because if you know there's 5 years of none of this, then you know it leaves a really sour taste. Because this is so good. But I'll take the 2 because anything can happen, and you know
nothing's guaranteed.
Yeah, RG3.
Nothing's guaranteed.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's good stuff. All right. So Jay, what do you say?
So I'm really trying to break this question down and try to decipher what player or pieces are worth 3 first-round picks right now, but and then those players or player will help us win back-to-back Super Bowls for your question. But like I'm gonna have to calm it down, but I'm gonna say no because like everybody's saying, the sustainability, and that would mean if we somehow miss 5 playoffs, that means that we would probably hate Adam Peters, and I don't like that because I've seen us do that. We would really hate him, because we've seen it, So I'm gonna say no because we are building something. So good question.
I'm trying to say our quarterback not gonna be good.
This is why I said I want questions
hard. Jada wouldn't be good.
See,
Jada wouldn't be good. We could be a non-win team and still not make playoffs.
We could go to the wild card every year and lose the wild card. I mean,
if you're talking sustainability,
we could be the Cowboys.
If you're talking sustainability,
we could be Pittsburgh.
Hold on a second.
How about this, Jay? You said what first round pick is good enough to get you to the Super Bowl? You were thinking about that.
I know
for us.
You just had it last year.
Yeah,
last year. That's
who
saying.
But then we got to think about it. Look at what 4 years of bad first round draft picks did.
Exactly.
And he's already on our team.
And not having
he's already on our team.
No, but the question was, will we give up 3 first round picks? Look at what bad first round picks did to our team.
Oh man,
to not have any, I wouldn't. That's just me, but I wouldn't.
With you, Brad.
Yeah, I think so. Caveat with all this is, and Jay,
we're not hurting that bad.
Do it.
Can I say something?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So we're talking about sustainability. So if you went to 5 Super Bowls and did not win, you got the sustainability, but you don't have the trophies. So for everybody who's saying sustainability for those 5 years, it doesn't matter because you can still go to the Super Bowl.
To the Bills.
Win them.
Yeah,
Give me the
talk to
2
the
bona
Bills.
fide wins. That gives us 5 trophies in the room rather than 3. You're up there now with the Steelers and the Cowboys and the 49ers. You got how many teams have 5 Super Bowls?
But that wasn't the question, winning 5 Super Bowls.
But you're talking about sustainability. You're talking about the 5 seasons of non-sustainability after those 2 wins. Doesn't mean anything because you could make Super Bowl and don't win it. You got sustainability, but you don't have the trophies.
Yeah,
so the
that's
question is
just
now,
like
are we taking
that's
sustainability
eating
over
chicken with no
trophies?
seasoning, though, brother. Ask the
Listen,
Bills.
I got hot sauce on my chicken. I'm just simply saying, for everybody who has a sustainability argument, you can have sustainability doesn't necessarily equal trophies.
That's making me
But
stop.
the second part of the equation was like you don't go to the playoffs for 5 years. I think that's the part that
That's sustainability. That's sustainability.
Went to the Super Bowl this year. Listen to us.
That's sustainability. So you're picking sustainability over true trophies.
Yeah, look, I mean, look, listen to us. We act like we went this year.
Well,
I think we're really that close that we don't need to give up 3 picks. We're super close.
Yeah.
Let everybody get their answer, and then we'll get back to this. So Josh, you're up next.
Like much like Brandon, I've seen 4. We won 3. I mean, the Patriots got how many? 7
or 6.
6. Casey has how many?
Casey has 4.
Okay. How many in this room think JD5 is one of those quarterbacks?
We're sure hoping he is.
Everybody in this room, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not giving up out of all those draft picks that we've wasted, all those first rounds. There's no way I'm giving 3 more. I'm not taking the deal. We are gonna be the next franchise. We are the next one. End of story.
I like it. And you know what? To add on to that real quick before we get everybody else's opinion on this, I think we all can agree, if anything, whether you take this deal or you don't, I think we all can agree what this team's going to look like with Adam Peters 4 first-round draft picks.
Yes.
That's
Gonna
a
be
big
dogs.
So you're not hoping that those picks turn out good. I think we all think that Connolly's going to be a guy. And I can tell you from what I saw with my own eyes last weekend, that big joker moves around a little differently. So that's the kind of stuff that we're not used to. We're not used to people having picks. So
somebody said today that Connolly is going to be much like our boy in San Francisco. He's just not quite as mean yet.
Trent.
Yeah. So I'll tell you guys right. Connolly looks like Larry Jr. That's what he looks like Jr. So
Laramie Tunsil. Oh yeah, wow.
That's what I'm saying. They got Laramie Tunsil, a younger version of him. And when Laramie moves on years from now, they'll just slide him on over there. It's just everything we do makes sense for once. All right, so let's go here. We got Kel up. What you got, Kel?
Kel.
Oh yeah, in respect to the hypothetical question, I'm definitely not taking the 1 Super Bowl, 3 draft round picks and not make the playoffs for 5 years. I'm not going to take it. I think that'd be malpractice, malfeasant, back office work for sure, and like something catastrophic has to happen on the field for us not to make the playoffs for 5 years. In respect to the 2-year 2 Super Bowl scenario, man, that's tempting. A lot of be up there with the Cowboys and other. That's tough though. But still, like I have to err on my first point. Like I think it's hard for me to grasp this hypothetical because I know we're making the playoffs. There's no way I can't say we're not making the playoffs. But if I was to choose, you put a gun in my face, man. I'm gonna take the 2 Super Bowls though. That changes the whole scenario. I'm gonna take the Super Bowl. I'm gonna say his last thing. The hype around this team is nationwide. Obviously, the owners are invested in this team, hence the schedule. But for me, it's not hype. It's based on like past performance, not only with the quarterback, not only with the front office, the coaches, but like everybody in synergy with one like goal, and they're working towards that one goal lock and step. And that's like that type of synergy is like a predictor of the future. So I think we're going to do real good, and it's like based off like past performance. So we're gonna be all right.
That's what's up. I accept that. That's good. Mike Barrett, what you got, man?
I think you can.
I was
I
waiting.
think you you can answer for me.
Yeah, he I already know.
You already know. I'm taking the one I was gonna. It was too easy. No, the two back to back. I'm taking it all day long, all day. And those 5 years are gonna be brutal. I mean, but they could be 7 wins, 8 wins. They're gonna be brutal. But back to back, there's a lot of. I mean, we believe in JD5. He's the truth, but there's a lot of good quarterbacks who can't even make it to the dance, man. I'm taking that too. I'm taking that too.
Y'all do realize before we get on, because we still actually let's get Tony and Willis, get their take real quick, and then I'll give you mine. But Tony, you're up.
Yeah. So from seeing this last couple off seasons, how this organization is run now from like the top to the bottom, I think if you give Adam Peters all the bullets in his gun in the drafts going forward, on top of the upward trajectory that the team is on now, we don't need anybody's deals. We gonna be in playoffs and have chances to win things without that. You know what I mean? That's my take on it.
All right, so that's a resounding no. I'm not taking the deal. All right, so here we got Willis up. What you got, Willis?
Okay, to start off on the last question, I thought I was an optimist until Lewis gave his answer. So yeah, I'm like that 15. But anyway, on this one, I would say when you said that the one Super Bowl, I was like, hell no, absolutely not. Then you threw in that second one. I had to start thinking about it. And I still have to say no. Because just what Tony was just saying, I mean, I think Adam Peters with 3 first-round picks over the next 3 years, we're going to have an opportunity to be going to the Super Bowl, not just twice, and then not having to deal with a 5-year block of destitute play where we're not seeing the playoffs. I don't think my soul can handle a 5-year block again, like I need to be going to the playoffs over and over, and then think about this on the last one. We're hosting the 2027 draft. What is it going to be like if we don't have a first-round pick at our own draft? That would just be sad. I'm like, nah, I say no.
And 5 years of losing means somebody's losing their job.
Somebody, if you asked Adam Peters this question,
Adams won't be
he's
there.
taking the Super Bowl.
It's
the ultimate goal. It's hoisting that trophy.
Lake, ask him that question.
Yeah,
if I ever see him, I absolutely
ask him that.
He's taking the Super Bowl. I mean, I think it's silly not to.
You got to speak on our behalf, man.
So this is the thing. So I need everybody to put their thinking caps on for this one. The reason why I asked this question was because a lot of people want that Super Bowl. We get it. There's not too many things that people wouldn't do to mortgage their future to get a Super Bowl in the building immediately. But I think if you look at the big picture and you look at the fact that this team is operating now with competent people in the building, making decisions, but more importantly, they're operating with a elite franchise caliber quarterback, something that they've never had. It changes your dynamic. It also changes the fact that, yes, if Adam Peters can get a Jaden Daniels, if he can draft a Josh, imagine what he can do with 2 more. Think of the 4 that we lost. Think of the Chase Youngs of the world and the Emmanuel Forbes of the world. And, think of all these players that didn't do anything, frankly. Right. Now, you switch that way of thinking and know that Adam Peters is a talent evaluator. He's a scout first and foremost. So he knows what he's doing. With that said, we're not even talking about the fact that they're still doing this on a rookie contract for their quarterback.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah,
I just realized that.
More players, more free agents, and you don't think you don't think now when you know how I had a lot of people telling me this offseason, you said that they were going to be a destination for people to want to come here. And I said, yeah, they are. Trust me. But the people in the building aren't going to just bring anybody here because they want to play here. They've got to fit the culture. They've got to fit everything involved.
but I trust me when I tell you, because I've had 2 players call me from other teams and like, damn, you gonna be doing all these games? Don't think that players from other teams did not notice how many primetime games this team has
Absolutely.
now.
Of course.
So next
More shine, more contrast.
yeah, next year's free agent class might really be something.
Yeah.
If need, they may not even need to go that route. All I'm saying is I agree with everyone in here to turn the deal down, because I think currently constructed, they're capable of winning a Super Bowl. And I think you keep looking at how this thing keeps getting built out, it's only going to get better. Last year was the worst roster they're ever going to field, and they were in the NFC Championship game. So that's got to be a good look. So listen, my friends, you guys liking these hypotheticals though?
Oh yeah.
They're fun.
Okay. Yeah, because I had somebody say they silly, and I'm like, no. So when you think about it, you gotta put your thinking cap on. And you know, I had another one sitting there. I'm gonna wait for next
week.
It's one that I think it might get some of y'all mad.
Lord.
But I'm talking about amongst each other, because it's clearly there is no middle ground with the question. I can't now. There's no middle ground. You're either on board or you are totally not on board with it. It makes sense. So this is good. So listen, quick before we wrap up, you know, I got to shout you out again, because a lot of you guys are coming on from all over the place. I can't say all over the country. I can say all over the world, because John's over in the UK right now. And John, you do realize everybody's going to be picking your brain as this season gets closer, because you know what it's like over in Europe. You're going to have to help us out when we get over there to Spain. And then on top of that, some of you guys in the cities that you're in, make sure that you hit me up if we're playing in your town, so you know we can get together or something like that. Go out, have dinner or whatever. So make sure you hit me up. You know, I can't wait till Brad comes to town from Detroit. When I was in Detroit 2 years ago, he and his wife reached out to me up there. So we got to return the favor and get you guys down here. So listen, man, this thing is picking up. The other thing is the radio station, Radio One, the station that I'm on in DC. They're like, we need your fans to call us on Tuesday. So you guys are more than welcome. We can pick this up on the radio version. So you guys are more than welcome to call in on Tuesday as well.
Late question. Maybe you could throw this out. Who's going to be our surprise of our draft? Who's the surprise of the draft? I guess we can't answer it now. But who's the surprise of our draft?
Okay, I'm gonna say this. I watched all of them. I was blown away by the state. This year's draft class, I'm telling you that verbatim. They're faster than last year's draft class. So you can just see they went with football IQ last year. That was the thing that you could clearly see with Mikey Sanders still, with Jaden, you know, with Jerzon. They wanted guys that knew football. This year's class was about speed and athleticism. So I'm a big fan of Amos already. I'm a big fan of Connerly. Almost broke my hand when he shook it. It still hurts. I mean, Ja'Cory looked bigger than I thought he was.
That's my steal.
Guy right there.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's my steal.
Hey, Jalen Lane is not little. He's I've already called him that. He's Debo Jr. That's who he is. But I'm telling you, I think Kane Madrano is going to surprise a lot of people.
Wow. That's the linebacker from UCLA, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
UCLA. He's here to be a project, to only be special teams. That dude's athleticism, he's going to be on some packages. Trust me when I tell you.
He calls the defense and says, "You need to be drafting me." I mean, I like that.
Yeah.
You know,
Ken Norton Jr. knew that too. So when you think about that, that wasn't just a favor for Adam because they're Bruins. That was real, and the guys got confidence. So
we needed a cover linebacker too.
Good point. Yep.
Tight ends. But he's got a nose for the football. He's a former offensive player in college that switched over sides of the ball. So, those guys have a knack for knowing where the football is. So, yeah, I'm excited about him. I think he might be the surprise of their draft because the other guys, I think everyone's expecting something from them. I think Milano's going to give y'all a lot to be happy about. So, my friends, we got to wrap this up, man. We've been on now for an hour. So this is good, man. This is good. I appreciate you guys taking time out of your Friday to join me. So make sure, if you can, make sure you call in on Tuesdays. We'll have fun with it because it's an hour long now on WOL and DC as well. So appreciate you guys coming on, and make sure you have a safe and pleasant weekend, and we'll see you next week. All right.
Thanks, everybody.
I appreciate all our guests who came on today and made time for us. The show is growing not just in the States, but it's growing domestically as well because we had another visitor from the UK on with us today. So yeah, it's exciting, and I love seeing the fans take on things and their interaction with me. And as I've always said, yeah, I'm in the media. I've been covering this team for a long time. I've been covering the NFL for a long time. But with that said, I'm nowhere without you guys. So I appreciate everyone who takes time out of their day to watch the show, listen to the show, subscribe to the show. And by the way, speaking of subscribe, if you see that red subscribe button right there on the screen, that means that you haven't subscribed to the show yet. So I greatly would appreciate it if you did that. If you don't see the button, that means you already have. So appreciate all the love and all the support out there. My friends, have a great weekend, and we'll be back again next week doing this at the same time, same place. Have a good one.